Hey guys, GHAZZY TV here with another Path of Exile 2 video, and now we're going to be watching Path of Exile 2's biggest problem right now, which is a video made by GHAZZY. So let me start by linking this in Twitch and YouTube stream chats. We are still going strong with a subathon that's uncapped. It's seemingly going to last past Christmas, which is kind of crazy. It's a big thank you for everyone who's been contributing and supporting the stream. It's absolutely insane. I don't know what to say. Anyways, I was recommended to watch this video. There's a lot of problems with Path of Exile 2. I mean, we can start with Magic Find Rarity being a humongous problem, build diversity another one, the market itself completely screwed up, and generic balance issues and whatnot, where certain classes do way better than others. So I have no idea what to expect from this video, but I was told to watch this as we were talking on stream before with some of the problems with the game in general. Mostly, though, the time I've spent have been a little bit on the monk lately. It's a character I've been playing almost level 90 now. The other characters I've done is another Titan Warrior up to level 90 almost, and a 93 or something Infernalist. And both the Warrior and the Infernalist have been focused on minion builds. The problem I've been experiencing is obviously not been too bad if I looked at it in a vacuum. As soon as I tried the monk, I was like, bro, it's so easy to play this or a caster build like Spark, for example, and just shove a ton of rarity in it and get tons of value, whereas minions have so many quality of life issues. So yeah, there's a lot of problems, and I don't think we're going to see any sort of fixes to this until after the holidays. So that's kind of like the issues that I've been seeing that has been more pressing or more revealing as we played the game for the past 2 weeks. But let's watch Cistern's video and make it full screen, and let's go.
Hi, Cistern here with another video about Path of Exile 2, and this is a bit of a rant.
Wow, he really went with blue on that hair, dude. I haven't been able to catch any streams because I'm busy with the subathon. Holy shit, sis. That looks good. It's like neon blue.
Video about rarity in Path of Exile.
Okay, he's gonna cover the rarity. Before we watch this, I just want to point out the subathon's been going crazy. I know Sis is up like 65,000 subs. I'm so happy for him. DM hit like 30-something thousand rather recently. We are on 23,000. I know Rax is also there. We have 5. And Queen is up there as well, like 35, 40K or something. We have 5 ARPG streamers in the top 50 most subscribed to channels on the entire Twitch platform. It is awesome. I just want to point that out. Sorry to interrupt the video. All right, Rarity. I'm guessing he's going to cover the entire video on Rarity because it's a humongous problem. So let's see what he has to say about it.
Is it any good place? Should it be in the game? And how does rarity work in PoE 2 currently? To do a big update, because we have a lot of new players that aren't familiar with PoE. PoE 1, we also had item rarity, but we also had item quantity. And in Path of Exile 1, item rarity would affect the rarity of gear, so whether an item would be blue, yellow, or brown unique. So that was all rarity did. And we would have quantity, which just increased the amount of stuff you got, which also affected currency. Now,
and like another thing to add to that is like you wanted to have basically a lot of quantity to make. You basically spin the wheel several times to have a higher chance of getting something good. And then you had rarity to stack on top of that to have this little sweet balance of as much quantity of items as possible, as much rarity as possible. Then they took quantity away, and it resulted in us only having rarity. And now in PoE 2, there's only rarity, which is affecting currency as well, which is why, in my opinion, this is a humongous problem, because most importantly, there is only a handful of classes or even builds that can very easily, without paying too much of a cost on their character's efficiency, be able to stack tons and tons of rarity, whereas other builds are forced into certain things or build specific or build enabling unique items and whatnot, basically taking them away from the possibility of having rarity, which is a humongous problem, creating a meta that is very similar to that of Diablo 2, where the Diablo 2, if you want to play a minion build in D2, play a sorcerer, farm everything you needed, including all the rune words for Enigma. Now you can play your summoner. You want to play a Javison, level a sorcerer, magic find the shit out of it, farm the gear you want for that build. You want to play a gold find barb, play a sorcerer, farm your shit with that character, then you can play the build you want to play. PoE 2 does have this a little bit in this right now. I've seen a handful of builds like monks and whatnot, but also a spark build. clear super fast, more effective than most things that I've seen so far. There might be other builds that I haven't seen. There's like some bow builds as well. And then you basically farm that with tons of rarity. Then you can play whatever you want. And this is not a good state of the game. Let's see what this has to say.
Quantity, because it affected currency, was such a problem in PoE 1 that they removed it entirely from the game. Completely gone. That makes it a little bit surprising to me how rarity works in Path of Exile 2. The problem of why, by the way, quantity was removed in PoE 1 was that a large amount of players started feeling like it was almost, you were almost forced to wear it. You were almost forced to wear it. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate. And I think for me, I was always a big rarity enjoyer in Diablo 2. And the point for me where I started disliking rarity was when Bisco's collar came out. And that was a item that just gave such a big impact of the rarity. It had like 100% quantity increase of white monsters killed. And it was like night and day. It basically doubled or tripled your drops. So it felt almost mandatory to wear. And that ended up changing most people's build design for the entire league. It would just be like, well, if the character needs a unique necklace, it's a bad build because it can't wear Bisco's collar. And that was not good. So that brings me to Path of Exile 2. How does rarity work and what does it do? So if we see here, items can be normal, magic, rare, or unique, and item classes which do not have rarity, such as currencies, have individual rarity for each item. So in PoE 2, if you're wearing rarity, that means a transmute is more likely to be an AUG might be more likely to be like a Valorb or an Alchemy, etc. And I had been running with 0 rarity until maybe 10 hours of gameplay ago. And then I got this amulet, and oh my god, the difference is insane. And obviously I'd seen other players that have been playing solo Self-Hunt for roughly the same amount of time, roughly the same amount of kills, would have maybe like 20 to 50 divines kind of thing.
Let me show you what a lot of people are doing. What's the name of that shield? Max? Mua? Mao? What is the unique shield called? Max Waddle? How do you spell it? How do you pronounce that? Maxotl. You see this one? 2 sockets. You can corrupt to get 3 sockets, by the way. I believe you can double corrupt to get 4. This increases up to 666% of increased effect of soul cores. And then you shove rarity. This is a corrupted increased effect of this. So you take 20 rarity multiplied by 8.77. This shield, just this shield, gives you 175% increased rarity of items found. Ciceron is currently talking about having, 50 rarity being a humongous difference. Now, there are not many builds that can handle equipping that shield. Not even a good roll gives you over 100 rarity, and he's talking about how 50 rarity makes a world of difference. Just food for thought, not to mention the possibility of adding rarity on all your other items to scale it even further. And builds that are able to pull that off by sacrificing some of their defenses can pull that off. Very few builds can do that. That is a humongous problem.
Like, it is actually that big of a difference. So if you're like, how are people getting hundreds of like exalts and hundreds of divines? Rarity is a huge part of that. Some people are running up to like 500% rarity, and they're actually hiding a lot of rares on their filter. Until I started wearing rarity, I was like, hiding rare seemed preposterous to me.
Yep.
And I was running out of alchemies. I was down to like 3 alchemies at one point, while pretty much only alchemying item level 81 rattling scepters and rings and amulets. That was the only things I was alchemying. Those are pretty far and few between. I'm running out of alchemies. Now that I have...
I'm going to pause and show you another thing that people are doing. They're running an ingenuity belt that increases the bonuses from equipped rings. I'm running Ventur's Gambles right now. I'm going to show you the Ventures that I'm actually working on going to equip in a moment, which is this one right here. That is 46% rarity. And my current belt is 67%. That's 46 times 1.67. That ring, which is not even max roll, it's pretty close to it though, is 76 rarity alone, just from that ring alone. Now combine that with say 120 plus from your shield and another say 60 rarity from another ring. Just 2 of these rings and the belt and that shield, you're sitting at 250 rarity, and that's not even including possible rarity rolls on the rest of your gear that you can have on top of that, which can roll 30, 40, 50 rarity as another example of that. It's just crazy, and only select few builds can handle doing that.
I think it's 76 rarity. Where do we see? On kill effects. 74. I have 74 rarity, and I just got 3 alchemies in 1 map and 4 exiles. And this is now pretty commonplace. I'm a little unsure of my own experience with Divine Orb drop rates, but in the first map after putting on rarity, I did get a Divine Orb, but Divine Orbs are pretty rare, so I, for my own experience, would want a bigger sample size, but we do know that it does affect the drop rate. To give you an idea of how good rarity is, chat, this is...
So I talked to a few people the past few days about this, and there was a guy running about 300 rarity, and he's been doing that for several days, and he said, on average, with juice tier 15, 16 maps, he drops 1 Divine Orb between every 5 and 7 maps, and that's from 2 days of farming. And he's clearing very fast. He's playing a meta build being Spark. Now, I know that's not a big enough sample size, but that is what he's consistently looking at for 2 days of playing. Is it accurate? Obviously, it's not, because it's not a big enough sample size. But give or take, it will be in that ballpark, right? That's pretty fair to point out. That could be very likely to be in the ballpark. 5 to 7 maps per Divine Orb. I didn't drop a single Divine Orb until I put Rarity on LB. Actually, I had 2 characters, almost level 90 before I got my first Divine Orb.
This is Scry's loot from 1 map. That's 130 rarity map with 165% rarity on the character. 6 Divine Orbs, 20 Regals, 34 Exalted Orbs, 107 Splinters. Jesus. That's 1 map. Did you get 10 breaches? 3 breaches. Wow, not even 10. Imagine if you had 10 in that map. And I don't think it affects things like this. I actually had 5 perfect jeweler orbs.
I've dropped
just
0
farming,
perfect jewelers, by the way.
Local knowledge. So, I didn't have a problem with those. But a lot of my currencies, I had for a very long time, I had 0 Divine Orbs, 0 elements. And I remember when I found my first Divine Orb, people were like, you just found your first one now? Are you not wearing rarity? And I'm like, no, I couldn't fit any. So I actually took a bit of a damage loss, put on this like Giga Rarity amulet, because this is 70 plus from 1 item. So that seemed very worth it, right? 74 rarity from 1 item. Doesn't have any other good stats, so if I found a backup one, I would Chaos Orb this to try to make it really good. Maybe get some energy shield. Should rarity be this strong, and should it affect currency? I think the answer to both is no. I'm not entirely against rarity as a stat that makes you find more unique items or more rare items. I think when at the point that you feel stupid for not playing without it, when it's literally like a 5 to 10x different experience than not having it, that's definitely too far. And even like blasters like Fubgun is saying like it's definitely overtuned. On top of that as well, it seems like the diminishing returns is like nowhere near where it should be. In my old age, I think I'm fundamentally against rarity in an ARPG. I think it ends up taking a lot away from it because you're looking for rarity instead of power stats for your character. However, the fact that it is mostly on rare items, there's very few uniques. Well, I guess you have Wonder Trap. Very, very few uniques are noteworthy or have rarity on them. And I think that's okay. Because at least you're looking for interesting gear. But, so like, it's not like I'm going to rage out if rarity stays, but it definitely needs a significant nerf. So I'm not a huge fan of feeling forced to give up power, which I am now doing, to get rarity. And now it is such an impactful change. Like, I am dropping between 3 and 5 times more than I would. And rarity should not, in my opinion, be the most sought after stat.
100%.
On gear. And obviously, very unlikely to get a patch until January. But yeah, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there. I would love to know, especially from other people in the community on softcore and stuff, do you like that rarity is this powerful, that you literally get 5 to 10, maybe more times the drop rate of currency, of good currency? It's pretty crazy to me. I definitely didn't think it would be this imbalanced. If all they said tomorrow is we are removing all sources of rarity from the game, I'd be like, that's great.
The problem with removing rarity now is that Well, what about everyone who just farmed thousands of divines versus the guys who didn't? How is new players going to be able to afford anything? They need to do what everyone else is doing, except that they play much less. So the blasters are playing all the big ticket expensive items are instead going to be ridiculously overpriced and unachievable for most people to be able to afford. And it's just absolutely crazy. Let's finish the video first here.
I'm way more in favor of that than anything else. That's my 2 cents. Yeah, very curious what people think. But even if all they do is make it unaffect currency, which crazy to me that after quant being removed in PoE 1, they make it affect currency in PoE 2. That's wild.
True.
That's wild to me. I have no words. Crazy. But yeah. That's my little rant. But I'm just a dude, and that's just my opinion. So let me know what you think. Interested to hear what people in YouTube comments want to say. Either way, thanks for watching. So if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.
Good shit. Leave a like. By the way, here's the video. I'll link it in the Twitch chat and YouTube chat again, boys. It's Sis. Big shout out to him, and big congratulations to Sis for his new records on subscribers. By the way, absolutely insane. No, I mean I'm in the same situation. I feel like they should just completely make it not affect currency in general. The problem with it is that they removed quantity, and then they basically just baked quantity into rarity in PoE2. And I just don't see how this was not something they expected would happen. And the biggest problem with it is that some builds, like the Spark build, for example, can do this, especially on a Stormweaver. You can do it on Infernals as well. But those type of builds are able to pull off even more rarity and able to sacrifice more of their efficiency. So basically, the play style is to go nuts on this. And that's not a fun place, because now we're basically not looking at interesting builds and build diversity and power scaling your character, because now you're more interested in just having as fast clearing as possible with as much rarity as possible that doesn't impact the efficiency of your character. That's basically Archmage Spark. That's basically it. Now you just basically walk around playing, everyone's playing the same build, and it's just going to be nuts. And then everyone's dropping tons and tons of currency, except for the new players coming into the game having no idea what it is. And they'll be like, oh, let's upgrade my character. I have 15 Exalted Orbs. Because they drop quite frequently. They open up the trade, and, an item with 1 resistance roll and a half-decent life costs 60 divines. It's like, that's basically where we're heading right now. And it's so crazy. But yeah, just like Cicerone said as well, leave a comment down below what you guys think of the situation. Hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and leave a like and comment on Cicerone's video as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, stay safe and keep rocking.